Good morning, NJ family. Thank you so much for tuning back in. So I am dropping a video. Like I said, it's the month of January, and I decided to drop a video about what happened when I was a kid to me and also my family. My dad was murdered. So that video will be after this little intro. I just want to say something real quick, and excuse me if I'm looking crazy. I know y'all tired of seeing me in the car, but I think this is my only piece right now. I'm like, it's loud in the house sometimes. I would like to say it's kind of early, so I'm trying to make sure my brain is kind of working too. No one can tell me my story but me. Like, you can't tell me things didn't happen that happened to me. And I don't care who you are, and if you're watching this, like I'm talking to you, if you're getting offensive on the other side of the phone, you can't tell me what happened to me. There's rumors, like I've been told, like everybody say they were there. No, it was literally a family of 5: my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, and myself. And then my grandma and my uncle and and my grandma's husband, fiance, boyfriend. They were next door, and then they were involved. But you can't sit and tell me my story. Like I tried to, pre-tell someone or a few people like my story, and I'm trying not to say names because I'm trying not to talk down on people because I'm not that type of person. But somebody really sat there and told me, that's not true. How are you telling me what's true or what's not true? This is my story. Why would I lie about something that happened to me as a kid? Or that part wasn't true. How do you know? Truth be told, you never even came to... That's all I'm going to say. You cannot tell me about what I'm telling the world. It's my story. I'm trying to keep people names and stuff up out of my story just so that people still have their privacy. But I am discussing, this is my channel, and my channel will be discussed. That's what you do when you're a content creator. I will be telling things about me that happened to me, things that I've been through, all of that. Some things some people don't know because I don't talk to nobody. Nobody. I barely talk to my sibling. Like, I don't really talk to my siblings. Like, my brother has his own life going on. My sister do too. And then I have other sisters and brothers out here that I hardly talk to. And, and I love them dearly. One I am trying to get closer to because she reaches out to me, and I appreciate that a lot. And I reach back out to her. And like, I really don't, me and my mom, we're cool. I love her, but we're not close. We're not close. Like, my mom doesn't sit at my house all day. And, there's some people that's fortunate that has their mom full time. I don't have my mom full time. I have my mom PRN, if that makes sense. She's still my mom. She does her stuff with her grandkids when she wants to. But it's not, you can't tell me about my story. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I just got off topic a little bit. So what I discuss is about me. If you don't like my channel, you don't want to watch it, I do have a few subscribers. I think we're at 71, 72 subscribers, and we get, like, our views are not bad at all. But if you don't want to watch us, don't watch us. Just don't watch us, and that way you don't have to deal with it. But I'm not holding back. I blocked so much stuff out of my life just so that I could satisfy everybody else, that all that stuff is really, like, hunting me down and eating me out. So it's like, I'm telling my story. This is my story. And this is only the beginning. I have so much more. This is only the beginning. So, if you're watching this video, if it might be too much for you, please exit it. If you're a kid and you're watching this, watch it because you might get some knowledge out of it. If you're, if it's going to be too much, just don't watch it. It can be a lot for people. People can have nightmares or even, whatever it does to people. Because I know when I hear stories and stuff like that, I do go into like a dang, that's crazy. And then I think about it for a while. So I know how I am, but this needed to be out. And I'm sure my kids will see it too. It's just something that happened to me when I was a kid. I don't need no sympathy from no one. Like I said, I've never really truthfully mentioned it because it's something that I have to deal with. You don't have to deal with it. Once I tell you a story, it's over with. You go back to your normal life, and I still have to deal with what happened to me as a kid, if that makes sense. I do want to talk about like some things that I struggle with when that did happen to me. Like people, no one's normal. Okay, let's just get that. But like little stuff that happened to me that I'm currently dealing with. Like I don't like dirty hands. I like clean hands. I know I only got one nail on there. I need to take that off. I don't like red stuff on my hands. I just don't like dirty hands. I've always been big on washing your hands. If I see something on my hands or something sticky, it gives me like the chills, and I have to run and go clean my hands. I do that because when my dad passed away, when we were in that incident, when we went back to one of my cousin's house, it may have been my aunt's house. I had my dad blood or my mom blood on my hands, and it was just there. So it was like, oh, and when I finally had a shower, I scrubbed it, but it felt like it was still there. So I always have issues with like my hands. And then, I have really, really bad anxiety. Like I have scratches on my back because I scratch all the time. I don't know why I did that. I've always did that, I guess, but I do that all the time when I'm like, upset, frustrated, or sleepy. I just get the itch in my back. So my back is like terrible. I need to get that together. I don't like to be, and it's weird. It's like the opposite for me because you would think if you were in a homicide and you heard noises, you would want everything to be silent. So if you hear something, you'll jump up. Well, it's like the opposite for me. I don't like the silence because I feel like silent will bring back the time where I heard the commotion that I heard. And it still happens to this day. So I kind of like the TV to be on. And when I'm asleep, if I doze off and like in the middle of the night, if the TV is off, I'll jump up and I'll hurry up and rush to turn it on. I do listen to like waterfalls and, stuff like that. So it can actually soothe me and put me to sleep. So that's how I am at nighttime. I don't trust. Like trust is really big. Since that time that happened to me, and then to find out that I guess they were his friends. I don't like a lot of people. I don't like a lot of people. I have really bad trust issues. So it's really bad. So that's one big thing for me. I'm always been quiet. What else? And yeah, I guess that's kind of like the few things that I do run into. I've never seen a therapist for this. So I've always had to live and fight it out. I never really truthfully had a chance to cry about it because I feel like I've always had to be strong for my siblings, and not only my siblings, but for my mom. So it's like, I never got a chance to mourn over it. So it was like, I don't know. It's just weird. But, I'm just trying to think about something else. I guess that's it. So I feel like I do really pretty good with what happened to me. The little thing, and that's not small. That's huge. But I've been through so much. It's like minimizing what I've been through when I was a kid. But I appreciate everyone that's about to watch this clip. If you want to, if you're watching this, whoever you are, I appreciate the support. But if you want to know anything else, write in the comments and I will respond in the comments. I don't have any minimum or limits or any questions that you guys may have, or like how I cope, how I deal with anything you guys have to ask, write in the comments and I will respond to you guys. If you want to reach me personally, my email will also be dropped in the description. Please don't forget to like, follow, share, and follow us on TikTok. So let's get into this video. Good morning, NJ family. Okay, so I am sitting at, I hope you guys can see me. I am sitting somewhere. I'm still kind of, I know y'all like, this girl been sick for months. I don't know what, I think it's just the weather. And I really don't wear coats like that. So, and just, I don't know, hopefully it gets better. And then I need a humidifier. That's what I need. My house is old and the vents and all that stuff is just, I don't know. Every morning I wake up, I'm so dry. So I definitely always need something to drink. And then I just get clogged up. So by the middle of the day, then I sound normal. I'm just now getting my voice back because my voice is really hard right now, like hoarse right now. But I have some minutes before I go into this place. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about the past. I know it's the new year, but something today has been really like heavy on my heart. So I need to bring this phone closer because I don't. All right. So yeah, something has really been heavy on my heart. Today is my dad's birthday. Okay. On January 2nd, there was a hearing for one of the guys that killed my dad. He wants to get out. He wants to go hit parole and see if he could get out. So he did get approved to see the judge, but I'm not sure what happened. So like, I'm still confused about that. I'm going to try to contact somebody in my family to see if they heard anything else. So I'm kind of confused about that, which I did have a nightmare, on the 2nd as well, like in the middle of the night. It was about somebody else, but it was still has to do like a death. And then today is just kind of like a whatever day. And I think I sorry, you guys, like I said, I'm sick. I'm still kind of feeling like that because it's his birthday. He's 51, I think. 51? I think so. And he's not here to celebrate. And I know it's been years, so it's like it's been since 1999. Yeah. Since he's been gone. I think he died a couple of days after his birthday. I'll drop the article right now so you guys can kind of read the article, and then I'll go into what happened, what I remember. And I think this will be the last time I talk about it. When I used to talk about it, I used to kind of get emotional. You can kind of hear it in my voice, but it's like I talked about it so much. I went through trial. I did all that. It don't bother me much anymore. But you know what? I think is that this after I tell you guys publicly, I'm going to tell my kids so they can have an idea on like how my childhood, well, how my story went. Like everybody has a story, and I still have stories to go, but I'm going to tell them a dramatic story that happened to me as a kid so they can kind of like get an idea on life and like what to do and what conscience to take and stuff like that. So I'm going to drop the article now, and then I'll come back to let you guys know what happened. Yeah. So hopefully you guys were able to read it. It was a really, really dramatic. That was the worst day of my life. Yeah, worst day of my life, as so far, I guess. I pray nothing like this ever happens to me and my children. I have prevented things so that I pray that doesn't happen to me and my family. And I'll go into that as well. So I remember when I was 9 years old. I was 9. Like, did I just turn 9? Yeah, I was fresh 9. Yeah, because my birthday's September. He died in January. So yeah, I was fresh 9. And back then, I did come from a domestic violence house. Like, my mom and my dad would fight every single day. My mom's mouth is really big, if nobody knows. And if you're watching this, Mom, sorry, but yeah. She has a big mouth, like, really big. Like, she always has to be right. She's loud, and there's a lot going on with that. So, her and my dad used to fight all the time. And I remember one time I used to sit between her legs to get my ponytails done, and he'll say something and she'll argue with him, and I used to be like, man, if she don't shut the hell up so he don't hit her while I'm sitting right here. So like, it used to be really bad, you guys. Like, I remember one time, I don't mean to air her business, boy. She's probably gonna be watching this like, girl. Well, I remember one time she went to the club, and she only was there for 10 minutes. I'm just gonna let y'all figure that out on your own. But yeah, my dad had some, he had a little bit of, he was a great father, a great provider, but he did have like a little bit of issues with like putting his hands on women. And my mom had a little bit of issues with running her mouth and not knowing when to stop. So it was like a lot going on with that. So it was to the point, it was so bad that I got used to it. Okay. So there's one particular sorry, guys. On this one particular night, me, my brother, Robert, we used to sleep in the same room, all three of us. My mom had 3 kids. Me, My brother and my sister. I'm 32, 33, he's 32, and she's 30. Everybody's pulling up. She's 30. No, she's almost 30. She'll be 30 in June. So I used to be like, of course I'm the oldest, so we used to sleep in the same room. Well, on this particular night, we slept in the same room, and there was a cartoons on, and I really want to say it was Lion King, or no, Aladdin, with the carpet, all that. Yeah. So, with that being said, sorry guys, everybody's pulling up, but yeah, it was Aladdin. And then I was just laying there, and then all of a sudden I was dozing off. My brother and my sister was asleep. I was dozing off, and then all of a sudden I heard my mom, and she was yelling, and I'm thinking like they fighting, you know, like like I said, I was so used to it. So she was yelling, and as she was yelling, it just, y'all know, you know when you have kids and you could tell a difference from like a whine and cry and then like, oh my God, what happened? Cry, because their cry sounds different. Well, my mom yell sounded different. It didn't sound like the norm that I was used to. And then I was hearing her yell my dad's name, and I'm like, why is she yelling like that, yelling his name? It was just weird. Not thinking nasty, you guys. I'm talking like for help, yelling for help. So I'm like, what? Okay, cool. I'm still laying there. Then all of a sudden, the bathroom was kind of like by our room, so like we could hear it, I can hear the wall, like I can hear the commotion in the wall. And I'm like, I hear a lot of noise going on in the bathroom. My dad was in the shower. Well, I thought he was in the shower, but I think he was either taking his clothes off and getting in the shower, or he was putting his clothes on and getting ready for bed. I'm not sure what, but yeah, that's what it was. Next thing I know, I kind of stood up like, okay, now I hear my dad. And then I see my dad didn't have no clothes on. I see my dad run past me. And ran past the room, and when he ran past the room, I seen some guys run past my room with him, and they were in the living room tussling. So I come and I stand in the middle of the doorway, and I just look right and I look left, and I'm like, it was so much going on, you guys. I seen a gun, a few guns, 2 guns. I seen knives. Yeah, I see my dad fighting for his life. He was like fighting them, like wrestling and tussling with them. And I just see him getting stabbed. And I seen the blood, and I seen there was so much going on. I couldn't even, like, I was just stuck because I was just looking. And I seen him look at me like, leave. And I looked at him, and I didn't know what to do. You know, I just knew it was too much going on. And I think they see him looking at me, and they looked to see what he was looking at, and it was me. One of the guys stopped what they were doing, turned around, brought a gun, and started walking up to me. Like, I heard him say, if you don't tell me where the money is, I'm going to kill her. And then he walked towards me. And when he walked towards me, I ran back in my room, and I don't know what happened to him. Like, I think they start drifting, like they start tumbling and drifting out the door, the front door. And that guy was like, he didn't know if he wanted to take me out or if he wanted to follow them, because they were on their way. They were outside at this point. So he kind of like left me alone, like, fuck it, and ran out. And what I did was I grabbed my sister and my brother. Y'all, I'm 9. I don't know how I grabbed them, but I did. I grabbed my sister and brother. I grabbed them. I had my sister on one arm, my brother in my other arm, and I threw them in a closet. At this point, I'm still hearing them, the yelling and all of that, like the commotion. So I threw us in the closet. We had sliding doors. I shut the closet door, and I held my brother. With one of my hands, I held my brother's ear, and with my sister face, I held her other hand. I mean, her face. So like both of their faces. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm holding my phone, but one head was on this side and the other head was on this side, and my hands were covering their ears, like covering their ears. So when I did that, it was just, I couldn't cover my own ears because both of my ears was on their head. So I was just listening to the commotion. I just closed my eyes, and I was shocked because the last thing I see was my dad looking at me getting murdered. Like, I see that. Sorry guys, I'm caught up getting clogged up again. So we're in a closet, And it felt like we were in the closet forever. Like I kept hearing the sound, then all of a sudden it drifted off and I heard nothing. I heard nothing. So with that being said, after I heard nothing, like after I once I didn't hear anything else. Sorry, you guys. I know I need to I blow my nose, nothing comes out. So I need to probably get a steroid or something. So back to the story. I'm sorry, you guys. I paused. Well, I didn't hear anything, and it just felt like we were in the closet forever. And I was like, dang, I hope somebody come get us. I hope nobody forgot about us. I hope somebody is not outside the closet waiting on us to make a sound so they can shoot us up. I was just praying. Like, I was praying. I definitely knew God, believe in God. Like, I did go to church when I was younger with my grandma and them, so it was like, just pray. Next thing I know, and it seemed like forever. It could have been a couple minutes, but I'm not sure. I heard my uncle, and he was like, Juanita. And I'm like, we're in here. And if my uncle watching this, he remembers. He opened the closet door and he grabbed us. He had all three. He picked us all three up because it was January again, you guys. So it was snow all over the ground. He picked us up. So when he had picked us up, my grandma lived next door. And, in a second, I'll show you guys. Right now, there's nothing. There's this land, but there were actually two houses right there in Moline. So there was two houses there, and they're not there anymore. It was a bar. I'll show you guys the bar, too. But I'll show you guys where we lived and how close it was to my grandma. Like, it was literally 5 steps from my grandma's house. So when I was talking to my grandma, so when he picked us up and took us next door, I seen blood, like footstep blood, going to her house, and I seen blood on the porch. And then I finally see my mom, and she had a white t-shirt on, and she was really, really bloody, like really, really bloody. My mom, and I might get this number wrong, so I'm not sure, but to my knowledge, my mom got stabbed 15 times, I think, or maybe 12. I'm not sure, but she did get stabbed all in her stomach. They were stabbing her. And then when we got in the house, I see my mom, and she was trying to help my dad. And then I see my dad, and he was laying on my grandma's floor. But I seen, he ran next door to my grandma's house because the wall, and he must have, leaned on the wall because the walls were bloody. And then when I looked down, I seen him, and he was just laying there. And my mom, I don't know, I think it's my grandma, my mom, they were always around him. And then I seen him throw up. And he threw up, it was the last thing we ate for dinner was tacos. So he threw all that stuff up. And after he threw up, I think he was gone from there. Then it seemed like forever again, which we were right down the street from the police station. But the police got there, the ambulance got there, they took my mom, they worked on my dad, they took us out the house, they wanted us to go downtown for statements. So we did. It was a long night, oh my God, it was so long. Took us downtown for statements. Once we got done with the statements, we didn't know anything. We were young. I just basically told them what I told y'all. They took us to the hospital where my mom was. There was a lot of people there. And then of course we had my dad's funeral. My mom didn't want to stay here anymore. So she's from Chicago. So we went back to Chicago for about, I want to say a year, but it could have been like 6 months. I don't remember. Truthfully, I don't even remember going to school in Chicago. I don't even know if it was just for a couple of weeks, but then we moved to Davenport. And that's how I got introduced to Davenport, because I didn't know nothing about Davenport. I'm from the Illinois side. So I'm from Rock Island. And then we moved to Moline, and from Moline, and we're from Chicago to Davenport. So that being said, that's the story. The article's in there. I'll pause this so I can show you guys the video of the houses, and I'll kind of talk about how everything was set up. Okay, you guys, and this is crazy because this is perfect. Because it was snowing, like a snowstorm, when the incident happened with my dad. And right here, right there, where this tree is, because I remember that tree, I used to climb that tree. This was a house right here. And then down here, right past this tree, because I remember I used to pass this tree, this was my grandma's house, right here. And then all that space right up in here was a brick driveway. So this right here was my grandma's, that right there was our house, and that's where we lived at when my dad got murdered. So he ran from our house all the way to my grandma's house. It was just like 10 steps. And that all they tore down both houses. And at the beginning of the street, right there, where that car just rolled by, that's where the liquor store or the bar was. It was a bar there. So yep, and I remember the mark is still definitely right there. The mark. Yeah. The bar is even tore down. Like, I mean, it's even like abandoned. But it used to be a really nice. I used to see a lot of people going there where we used to live. You better stay off that hole, because I don't know what that is.
People might try to get out. I was just kidding. I'm going to stop for that actually happens. Yummy. We're going to car now.